Welcome everybody to episode 46 of Technical Tuesdays.
That's right, and we are back again, and this is a very special volume. And we were planning to do this for the last few months now, and today's episode will be a question answer. It'll be a great Q&A, and I put this post out only a few hours ago, and I think we've already got about 100 questions which people have got for us. So in this episode, we're going to do a bit of a question and answer regarding your favorite topics that you want us to discuss, questions, answers, everything.
Yeah, so there's 10 questions overall which we're going to give our answers to. So please bear with us. We're just going to go off the top of our heads, and as Nat just mentioned, we have rounded up the questions that have come up most frequently from our followers. So number one, what is AstroFX and how did we start?
Now for this story we have to go back to 2009, and honestly we could probably make a Technical Tuesday just from this question. We've been through some lows, we've been through some highs, and it's kind of what makes us us. But we have to go back to 2009 when we first began trading. No one knew about it. You can walk into a room anywhere and mention the word FX and no one would know, none the wiser. It's a lot different now, but back then, that's when I come across Sean. We both had a very ride or die mentality in terms of we've got to make it in trading or we're going to die trying.
That's right. So me and Nat, we had our own personal journeys beforehand. And when we both met, we were absolutely terrible, but we had no guidance from anywhere else. We were lurking in Facebook groups, taking advice from absolute amateurs, looking back now. And we went through all of the indicators, robots, signals, following people with no knowledge whatsoever. And yeah, back then, not a lot of people knew what the market was. And we were posting charts on Facebook. Family and friends were like, what the hell are all of those squiggly lines about? It was a big mess. So there was a lot less motivational content back then, and even market content that actually helped us on our personal journey.
That's right. We went through about 3.5 years of just basically pain.
Smashing phones up, laptops.
Mistakes, circles, everything. And I think after those 3.5 years, we basically had gone to the drawing board so many times, we realized what not to do, and what's left was a straight path. And if we concentrate on this, we keep it simple, we've got a good fighting chance. And from there, 1 month led to 2 months consistency, which led to 6 months. And from there, we really started to grow and actually see we could actually do this full time. And I think it was around about 2013, we got invited to London, and by several different firms that had been watching us online and said, right, we know you guys know exactly what you're talking about in front of the charts. We want you to be part of our team. Now, when going down there, we were under the impression that being in London, being in Canary Wharf, being whatever building it is down in central London, they must know what they're on about. Yeah. And we were quite surprised and disappointed.
Yeah, we both thought, we got quite excited at the time. We thought, oh no, it's our time to really be taken on board by somebody else and shine and be shown the ropes of, how to expand our own advancement in Forex and so forth. But when we actually got there and seen what these people were offering, it was very much the opposite. It was like, okay, cool. They want us for our technical understanding and experience, and they didn't really have too much else to offer other than the basics and brand, so to speak.
That's right. When we realized pretty quickly that we could do a 10 times better job than these guys, we opened up shop in around about 2014. We got the office ourselves, and without no outside investments, we spent zero money on marketing, where you had these guys in London, of course, were probably using money for adverts and brokers and everything. We just started off with Technical Tuesdays, an Instagram page, a Twitter, and a Facebook. And let's just say we posted our daily lives, our trades, our analysis, what we're going to do that day.
Yeah, so looking back now, what really got us to where we are, big level up, is our understanding of the actual technical charts, which we observed all of the other people, they were more or less lacking in that field. So as Nat mentioned, we hit the YouTube, our first Technical Tuesdays, and we put our balls basically on the line, because all of those trade predictions and all of that analysis could have just went straight downhill. But obviously we had an edge to what we were doing there, and we've seen people not even posting charts, just posting rubbish, bottles and clubs. What else do we
do that occasionally.
Yeah, we do that nowadays because it's a little bit fun, but not to full on market what we're doing. What else did we see? Yeah,
we just seen like loads of people that just kind of create shop, didn't know anything about trading, 3 months experience, were trying to promote signals that we knew that's not where anyone wants to go. We've seen indicators, we knew that's not where anyone wants to go. So we kind of learned all of our mistakes from 3.5, 4 years of losing and made it into AstroFX. And then what made us get this office, and then students. We actually had no idea if any student will ever walk into this
It
office.
just went so fast. It just went so fast. It just went from here to here, and people loved our content, and it motivated us to do more and more and more and more. And then here we are, still doing it for you guys right now.
That's right. So we have people from the US flying over, Malaysia flying over, and that's AstroFX. It's us putting ourselves online, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, sharing what we're going to do and our trading ideas for you guys to enjoy and hopefully entertain and gain something from. Bit of a long answer, but that's AstroFX. Question number 2 is from M4X Mud.
Crazy
So
names.
that's an Instagram name apparently. And so this question is, why don't you teach for free? Why don't you teach for free, Sean?
Okay, there's a couple answers we can go into here.
So one of the biggest questions that we actually sometimes do get is, why don't you help people for free? And we kind of say,
We do.
look at 75% of our work, whether it be on YouTube or Instagram or anything. We give free trades, we share loads of tips. I think just the last video, it takes us 3-4 hours making these videos for you guys to enjoy. And that's all free for us to give back to the market. However, when it comes to actually building a consistent and profitable trader, we have to have a hands-on approach. We can't just simply give you an hour a week and hope that you're going to make it. We know that's not going to work. So for that, we want to kind of create a premium service, and that service is going to take up the one thing that we value the most, which is time.
And you should value that as well. So with that being said, if we had a service which was, let's say, £10 a month, or maybe a signal service or something like that, if I was to pay £10 or £15 for a service or even a book, me personally, I would undervalue that and I would undercut that service for me not to even take it seriously. So once you pay a decent amount of money for something, okay, and a service, and you put your dedication and your energy into that service, that's going to inspire you to actually go harder and then try your best to make it succeed overall. That's one point. As Nat mentioned, we do give a lot away for free anyway. We've all of our YouTube videos, we try to give back as much as possible for those who maybe can't afford the course, but for those who again are serious about making this a full-time career commitment, which is going to take a number of years, then that service is there for them people as well.
And that's right. And to be fair, we've been running, FX kind of mentoring for 3 years now. And without being cocky, we've been sold out for 3 years straight, and we are for the next 6 months. So for what we charge, we know that it's getting good feedback, people are telling other people, and that they're suggesting friends and family to come on the course. So that's why we charge for our services, because of the one thing we value, which is time, which we give to people to hopefully make their trading better, and we like to think we're doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah.
Question number 3, and this is from Cash of All Trades, which is the question, how do you know if you've made it? Have you made it, Sean?
I don't know yet. So in this game, you have never really truly made it. I firmly believe you are only really as good as your last trade. For instance, with that being said, as an example, let's say you had 6 months, beautiful, consistent trading portfolio overall, and then one day you just decide to fuck it all up and then do some major risk and even blow your account. What does that then say about your previous 6 months? That 6 months, yeah, it is profitable and set in stone. However, just that one emotional decision can wipe out a whole ton of good work.
That's right. That's why we believe psychology is such a big important part of your trading, and it comes down to your character, and that will determine your longevity within the market. So exactly what Sean just said, we've seen people that have held together for months on end that ended up again blowing their cool, which is sometimes not for the worst, because that will help again teach us lessons. And then from there, you could go from, I've got 6 months before, now let me try and get to that 1 to 2 year stage. And then you can maybe trust yourself with the money a bit further, but it's always about trusting yourself with the money.
Ultimately, on the whole, the strategies and so forth aren't they are important, but they're not the most difficult part in trading. A lot of people, and we've seen this, people just drop off left, right and centre. They may stick to something for a while, get bored or hit a hurdle, and it's that hurdle in which people actually struggle with, and the mentality behind actually getting beyond these hurdles and advancing in their own career. That's not just goes for Forex either. So ultimately, I believe you make it when you actually start to cultivate a mindset of discipline, knowing about risk and knowing about money as well. It's not all about technicals and strategies on the whole.
That's right, and we're still learning about various things, and the market being one of them. We take what we got and we give it to you guys, but again, even we're still a student of the market in any way.
And one big one I need to just throw in there is you have to start being honest with yourself, your own losses, and your own trading journal.
That's right. Question number 4. Now, this was a very popular question. I think this question got asked over 15 times, which is, how do you determine your risk per trade? And this question is from Forex Camp.
Okay, so risk per trade. Now, overall, there's a consensus out there that in the market you're not a pro or you're not real if you don't risk 1% every trade or 2% every trade. On the whole, yes, that is a safe way to go, but is it a way in which you're actually going to make a decent return? Yes and no. For instance, you may get a losing streak in the market, you may get a winning streak in the market. You also have to balance yourself out after. However, sometimes you have to go a little bit more aggressive on your trades. Like me personally, I'm more risky, that's more conservative. But I have the skill and the confidence to know if I have a bad streak, that my good winning streak or next few trades, depending on risk reward, will pull me right back into the positive.
And that's right. And then I think one other thing that is fairly kind of a myth in the market is, you can actually do 1% on 2%, and that's quite easy, which is not. It's about mental discipline. Now, I don't mind putting out there saying when it comes to diet, I'm not that good sometimes. When it comes to, stop drinking, I'm not that good. So when it comes to you putting your stone cold cash that you worked hard for in front of a screen, again, to just try and say I'm going to risk 1% a trade forever is tough. You're going to be in the situations where if you lose 3 trades, is your 4th trade going to be aggressive? So it all comes down to you being honest about sometimes I'm going to lose my cool, but I need to try and have a bit of rules to my kind of trading and a bit of overall discipline, but understand I can break my rules and come back from it.
Yeah, and ultimately as well, it depends on your chart work. So which time frame you're going to be trading from? Is it the daily? Is it the 4-hour? Are you going for more of a medium swing? Are you going intraday? The size of your stop loss? How many confidences you have? Is there news out this week? Is there no news out this week? Is it the end of the month, end of a quarter? There's so many differentials that you need to take into consideration, and ultimately you need to know yourself and your own character.
Yeah, be happy with what you're going to risk, and be happy win or lose per trade that that was a good decision.
No, you just have to experiment.
Question number 5 is your first painful loss, or what's your worst loss? And this is from @Hawaii_Forex Army. What a brilliant name.
Cool. So first painful losses. I remember my first ever painful loss. It was $10,000, and that was all the money I had at that time. And I must have done demo for about a month. Prior to the demo, I was learning the ropes and the terminology of trading and getting used to the charts, and I thought, this is a really easy game. I did make a little bit of money at first, and then that's when emotions hit me, and I got wiped clean out within 3 weeks.
And that's right. Mine was a little bit different. My first trading account was £3,000, and now what makes me different to Sean is I actually tried to place small lot sizes with no stop loss. So for me, my first few trades that got me a little bit of profit, not having a stop loss led me to 3 months being trapped in these trades, 3 months, and I end up eventually losing. So I had that 3 months of bad habits and bad persona of the market, which I had to overcome as well.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not all about the loss of money. It's sometimes about the loss of your dreams. So you make a little bit of money in the market, you start looking for holidays, new cars, and you have all of these ideas in your imagination. But then when you hit a losing streak or just get destroyed, you don't just lose the money, you lose the faith and confidence within yourself. And that's probably one of the biggest things to overcome. So that was our first losses of our journey. Other than that, we've had some major losses throughout maybe the mid part of the journey before we actually started to make money, which were very, very, again, excruciating in terms of pain, because as we were leveling up and we were getting more money here and there and making more money, we're like, yes, we've got this now, and then we were bashed down again and again and again and had to come all the way back up. But it kind of brings in, and you dig within yourself a threshold of how much you can actually take in this market and how much you can take in terms of risk as well.
One thing I always say as a piece of advice is the market's not going to go anywhere. So for example, if you do not make it the first 6 weeks, it might take you 6 months, it might take you 6 years. So understand the losses are going to happen, but at the same time, don't give up. Because I remember one quote, which I'm sure all of you guys have heard of, is 90% of people lose within the FX market. Now that scares a lot of people, but I want you to try and think, how many people do you know that simply download a trading platform, lose £700 and give up, and they get added to that statistic? So that 90% of people that lose is not really real because they've not really had an efficient go. I would love to try and find out the statistic of people that lose 5 years down the line, and I'm sure it'll be very different.
The longest thing that takes, the longest thing over time in which is going to take you the most effort is controlling yourself, and that's why most people lose. The biggest loss, well, most, in terms of general trading, sometimes we float in losses, maybe 10, 15,000. I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, cool. But you have to keep your eyes on the price of the risk-reward factor, your risk of the trade, and overall, your how much you are going to be up if the trade actually comes in your favor as well. So sometimes that 15, 20k drawdown, you may only be 50 pips down, your stop's 100 pips, so you have to keep focus to the charts and the technicals and have trust in your abilities.
I think one thing that Sean mentioned as well is, so when you have that loss, that's going to feel like nothing for you. So for example, I remember the first time I lost, I remember the story, first time I think I lost £200, Sean was there. And I just, I think Sean gave me this trade, didn't work out too well. I wanted to kind of go punch his teeth in. Next thing, when I was down £150, didn't feel like much. And that happens still till today.
Yeah.
The first time we were down 20,000 makes you want to feel sick all over your computer. Then, when you're down 15, 16, it doesn't feel that bad anymore. So it's kind of a slow progress of what your heart can put up with and what your mind can put up with, and it's an experience game.
Yeah, it's all about that, building that threshold to get to a point where you're detached from this now, you've been through all of that, and then you can handle the larger swings. That is the drawdown factor. In terms of the winning factor, the biggest day that we've had is around £38,000. I remember when we first got the office as well, we were trading less capital, but we had a nice win of 26,000. That was about 400 or 500 pips on the Aussie. We actually closed that in front of a student. So our days aren't super, super, super huge, but 38k is our biggest, and our general drawdown, we're looking at 15, maybe stopped out at 20,000 on a single trade.
Put up with it, learn it, get over it. Question number 6. Now, this is a question which I'm sure everyone that wants to write something negative is waiting for us to talk about. The reasons behind negative or scam posts or talk, etc., which is by ePatrick20, which is actually a student who actually wrote a very nice comment saying, why is this stuff written about you? Because I've took your course and I find it very beneficial to my trading. I love you guys, but can you address it for anyone that's watching this video? Now, I could sit here all day and talk about why these posts are wrong and this and that. But one thing that it comes down to is what we do as AstroFX for other people. So, we've been teaching for 3 years now. And I can say this quite confidently. Have you seen think about it, have you ever seen any other trading course or brand like AstroFX take a picture or video of every single student that's usually coming to the office? And I mean, we've tagged their names, we've mentioned their journey. And so far, if you want to go online, type in anything you like. But have you ever seen a post of a student with me and Sean in the office and said, I didn't enjoy myself? No, it's been 3 years. So most of these stuff that I've written about, us online, from people that we've never even met. You can come to the office, you can see the cars, you can come meet me and Sean. We've always been those guys that you can approach anywhere you like with any kind of question. We've been on FX Street, we've been on Trading View. We're about to be on, I think, one of the biggest TV channels here in the UK very soon. So it's kind of like you can read stuff online, but there's a difference between facts, and that's what we are here today.
Overall, in this market, people are very, very selective about what they want to look at. I post a ton of charts, a good few, maybe even a week, and people are making money from it. They're sending me the thank yous. And I do it out of the goodness of my own heart, to be honest, because I like to get people involved, and it helps me with my personal trading as well. What I have noticed is that this game, so many people lose, and as I said, it's a very, very hard thing to conquer yourself and your own emotions. I give you one little story. Now, this is going back before Astro was even here. I used to trade from home, post on Twitter. This before even I was on Instagram. I used to work with Twitter a lot. And I posted a Euro JPY short trade. And I put the target on there, as I generally do normally. And I've woke up, and it's halfway to my target, if not 2/3 to my target. And I've woke up, and I posted the running profit, which was probably about £900 or dollars at the time. And then someone's come out on Twitter, and they're like, you big scam, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, that's not nice. But I've clicked on his profile, and I've noticed just a few hours before I posted this trade, he's posted Euro JPY long. And he's then seen me post a profit shot, and then he's like, he must have got stopped out, or he must be in a loss, and that must have really hurt his heart. And then he's come out, out the woodwork with all of his negativity and so on. And I've noticed a lot of people have something to say in this market. It's a very, very competitive field, if not one of the largest competitive businesses in the world, and people dream to be in a position where they can make money on the go. They can, not really worry about money and have the freedom and so on, and be, I won't say exempt, but away from the 9 to 5 routine. And we've seen it too many times where people, it hasn't worked out for them, and then they attack the people that it has actually worked out for. And then me and Nat were very, very different. We used to look up to and try to get as much information from the people who are actually doing it, not go out and hate them and so forth. So, just from our personal experience, the charts that we post these days and the information that we give, we know well and truly it's very, very beneficial to everybody who takes it. And you get 90% a lot of love and appreciation for what we do, which motivates us to carry on. And then you get that 10% who it might not have worked out for. They're not built for the market, but they have something to say about you.
That's right. And I think, it's been an experience for me and Sean as well. We went from no one knowing who we were to then, sharing pictures of our friends and our family. And, it's kind of like, we have extremely thick skin, by the way. You can pretty much write whatever you want under the comments, and me and Sean will have a drink and absolutely laugh our heads off about it.
We sit in drawdowns, 10, 15,000 a trade. And I've shared this with you guys on Instagram Live and so on, showing you the wins and the losses. And if we're sitting in that kind of drawdown and making those kinds of withdrawals, we don't really give 2 cents. Well, we don't really care about somebody else's 2 cents. Yeah. And a lot of it's just malicious anyway, It's just very, very hateful and spiteful. You've got to just separate that from
It's been 3 years, and you won't ever see us post anything negative about anyone. There's a quote out there: you will hardly see anyone that's doing better than you talk bad about you. So, for us, it's kind of like, well, we stick to what we do and stick to what you guys
Stay in your own lane.
That's it.
Question number 7. Quite an interesting one, actually. Does trading work for all personalities? And this is by Instagram name @Miski_Rusty or Rustley. Sorry if I got it wrong. These names are crazy. So yeah, let's get into this question.
So I think this is something that we ask quite a lot, from how many traders we've come across, how many traders we've connected with or taught. Have we noticed certain characteristics amongst the ones that we believe will make it and the ones we're not too sure about? Yeah. And you know what? We've been pleasantly surprised. Sometimes we've had people come that we've thought to ourselves, they need a lot of work, but they've gone away and put the work in, and me and Sean have literally WhatsApped you like, look how good this guy is doing. And it's been a great feeling to know that people can go away and put in the hard work and make it, in this business, even if we don't think so from the get-go. However, I think the overall thing that me and Sean have thought about is the disconnection to money, the emotions and money. Yeah. You have to kind of slice it between the middle, and you have to not be able to hug your money in this market. Otherwise, all you're going to do is hug it until it eventually goes away.
Yeah, so you may be thinking, how does that happen? How do you do this? Some people are naturally born with it. It depends on your background as well. Like, if you're born, without a lot of money in your family and you're always trying to scrape by and budget and so forth, you really, really value that small piece of money, which I didn't come from a wealthy background. And I was always the one to really try to value money. I would always work for money, but at the same time, I was risking. I would try to get somewhere by taking that risk. A lot of people don't really understand that concept, and as I've mentioned in one of the previous questions, you have to go to the bottom and be beat down in order to build that tolerance. And that's what's really done it for us, to actually disconnect ourselves from the money. Because when we attach ourselves to something, especially money, and then we lose it, it's going to lead to suffering overall. So we got all of that out of the way at an early stage, and looking back, I'm very, very thankful for that experience, because now it more or less just flows in and out. You take the wins, you take the losses, you have to just remain neutral through all of it.
That's right. I think a good way to kind of put it is the entrepreneurial mindset of treating trading like a business. Are you willing to put in that investment into your friend's business or your idea? And most people aren't. So when they open a trading account and they throw £700 or £2,000 in there, again, they just haven't got that investing mentality of it's an investment. It might not go too well. However, I have to see it through.
And on top of that, a big one as well is people's expectations are way too high, way too high in many different areas of life. But people often ask, how much do you try to aim for a week? That's why the people and companies who market Forex as, let's make X amount of pips a week, or join us, come and learn how to make 500 a day. All of these targets are unrealistic. You have to take each day as it comes and allow the market to flow to you and so on. So when we put too much of an expectation on things and we don't hit that expectation, we do something irrational and stupid in order to try and aim that, and then we get whacked back down again.
That's right. So definitely it's about being cold to the money, being able to kind of think like a business, And again, just turn those emotions off. Leave your emotions at the door is the best way, I would say.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing in there as well. We've seen people just try to make money from Forex for 7+ years. And sometimes, guys, just throwing it out there that this market and reading all of these squiggly lines and so forth, it's not for everybody. It's a very, very dynamic practice overall, and just people just aren't ready. It depends on so many different factors, but there has to come a time where you say to yourself, okay, this is not for me. Let me leave it. Something else is waiting for me to prosper and thrive in overall.
Yeah. Just because you see someone else do it isn't something which you can just jump on top of the bandwagon.
Yeah, bandwagon trends.
Yeah, you know, it will come and go. But for us, again, from the very start, we just fell in love with the market. So we do it for our passion. As again, that's why we do Technical Tuesdays. You know, we could just ignore all of this and just decide, right, stick to our own trading and, you know, and put out the information we want. But the reason we come here for, you know, maybe like 60, 70 plus videos is because we actually love Forex.
I really do.
So yeah, all right, let's move on. Question number 8. Again, I don't know how many DMs I get about this, how many friends and family message me saying, recommended start balance, how much money do I need to start off with to make it in trading? And this is from a.mkm on Instagram.
Okay, so recommended start balance. Now, there's a whole array of what has to go into this. Now, first and foremost, people often ask us, you know, if I give you 1,000, how much can you turn it into in a week or 2 weeks and so on? Forex isn't like that. This is a long-term career commitment, and it's a skill which can lead you down other avenues of life as well. What I would always say to people is, before even worrying about trading, if you haven't got the knowledge already, and making the money and worrying about your account balance and how much you're going to make, you need to learn the ropes of technical analysis. Firstly, you need to learn how the market works. You need to build your own character and personality within the market, know yourself. There's so much more you have to do before even worrying about your money.
That's right. I think you should separate yourself as well from the money I'm going to practice with to a money that I can actually make a living off this with. I think that's where the line gets very blurred. People are under the impression if they start with £200-300, well, that's enough for them to flip 89 times and make a good living out of. No. If you want to practice, you know, start with something which you're very comfortable with losing. There's no shame or embarrassment from starting an account with £250. If anything, it will help you concentrate on maybe the pips and percentage. It will help turn the emotion off to begin with. So start with something that you don't mind putting out there and saying to yourself, right, I've actually done this for 2-3 months, maybe I'm ready for the next step, and increase your account a little bit higher and a little bit. If you're going to go from a demo to a massive account, well, welcome to the reason why 90% of people lose.
Yeah, that's right. So recommended start balances, it's going to also be dependent on how much you've got at your disposal to chuck in an account. Some people have more than others. But as Nat mentioned, it's going to come down to trusting yourself with the money overall, thinking about your technical analysis, predicting where the market and currency pairs are going to go firstly, building that archive of, let's say, 15 to 20 trades, maybe over 2 or 3 months, going through it all, seeing which currency pairs are doing best for you and which aren't, get rid of the ones that aren't, and then really, really refine what you're looking at, and then focus on how much money you're going to place in your account.
I think it's become quite hard recently, because I think I even showed Sean a post yesterday of people just writing, how would you like to make £100 to £200 daily, or how would you like to make between £400 to £500 daily? These adverts, this bullshit that people are posting is, again, enticing people into the market for the wrong reasons. One thing you might have noticed from AstroFX is we've never ever said the words, how would you like to make it a full-time trading career, and all you need is £500 to start. Yeah. Never ever even come close to saying that, because we know what it really takes. So trying to ignore the BS out there, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. We are guys that just admitted in this video that it took us 3.5, 4 years to make it. And so it's a long-term goal, understand that, and that will hopefully help you consider your starting balance and what your account should be. Number 9, we're getting towards the end. Some good quality information being given to all of you guys. Next question is, could you trade just using your mobile phone? Now, this is an interesting one, because I think people see us sometimes sharing, monitoring trades on a mobile phone, and from there they assume, do they even need to use a laptop?
Yeah. All right, so this one, I've seen this so many times on social media, and you can tell straight away who does not have a clue about the market and who does. You get people doing the uploads of a little bit of a profit shot with a little watermark across it, and so on. But we upload some profit shots sometimes. We upload that for motivation and just to let people know that our trades are actually real, in which we post the trade, we give the trade out, we monitor the trade, we make profit, sometimes loss off the trade, and so on. Primarily, the skill set. It's all about skill set. So we use TradingView charts behind us, and we only place our trades through the mobile phone. You know, you need a high quality data feed in order to actually do all of your technical analysis and so on. You can't just walk around with a mobile phone, buy, sell. Like that is just crazy. Now, you need to have a professional set up all of your analysis. You need to take time, you need to have your routine, look at your trade, and then place it into your phone, and you can monitor it when you're going around. That's our preference.
That's right. I think if you guys do watch quite a lot of the videos we post, I think I posted a video about 4 or 5 months ago in which I had a lady come on the course, and she had done a prior course for £2,000, and there was 90 people in the room, and I said, right, tell me a little bit about the course you went on. And I've said, what kind of charting software did you use? She actually replied with, oh, we never really got in front of the computers. And I was flabbergasted. I didn't really know what to say to her. And I didn't really believe her. And she pulled her phone out and said, yes, my previous course told me to download this platform. And when this moving average crosses this one, buy or sell. And again, that's the information that unfortunately people are listening to nowadays online. But we're here to tell you, this will become your entire life. Your screen, your desktop, you can create whatever kind of workstation you like, but you have to treat it like a business. You have to execute it, day in, day out using your laptop, and then you can use your mobile phone just to see how the trade is going, but nothing else.
That's what we do. We'll modify the trades on the phone because we're always out and about, always traveling and so on. But yeah, guys, every single trade you must do. You can't weigh up risk reward on your phone. You can't weigh up decent technical analysis on your phone. Screen's too small, and again, the data feed isn't all that accurate.
That doesn't mean buy iPhone 7 Plus, by the way.
so yeah, to answer that question, could you trade just using your mobile phone? You can place the trades in there, but without charts and a solid setup and knowing what the hell you are doing, it's a no-no from us.
Question number 10. What's your overall goal for AstroFX and the future? And we left this question till last because we know all the other questions need quite a lot of time to go through and give some good advice to. But now this is one question that we really don't even know ourselves. What's the overall goal for AstroFX?
All right, to answer this, I'm just going to take it back to the start a second. Already mentioned, we got the office. We just thought, okay, let's see how this goes. Put our balls on the line, basically, with the YouTube and so on. And we didn't expect it to go this far as it has done now and take us on so many different journeys and meet so many different new and exciting personalities. So overall goal, me and Nat, we kind of just take life as it comes. We try to remain positive through all of the hurdles. We do have our occasional problems and stuff that life throws at us, but it's all about how you deal with it. And we feel that we've dealt with quite a lot, even just with Astro, and it's took us on journeys. Last year, before last year, we were teaching in New York, people approaching us from just seeing our Instagram, looking, following our trades for a while, making some money here and there and learning new things, more importantly, and they invite us out to all of these different countries. And we just take the opportunity as it comes. We always take the opportunity. So New York, Toronto, where else have we been?
Oh, there we go.
Dubai. There's so many places. We traveled so much last year, and we will. Nat's going to Singapore, Malaysia next week. I've just come back from Dubai, meeting again students, followers. It's just crazy.
Yeah. We enjoy our life and then try and do Astro around it. That's kind of the way that we work. So,
but Astro is our life as well. So the more we run with Astro, the more it shapes us. It shapes our personalities, but also shapes our destiny, so to speak, into all of these different avenues and so forth. And we just, as I say, we take all of the opportunities that come, and at the end of the day, it's worked out absolutely brilliant.
I think one thing with us is Astro is ours, and I think just going back a few months ago, we'd been invited by brokers in their offices and said, right, how can we bombard your videos with advertisements and get all your students to join this broker and that broker? And again, it's something we kind of steered away from, and they told us what kind of videos we should post. We post whatever we want. I'll post a private jet video if I want to. I'll post a video of us enjoying ourselves in going on nights out and quad biking through the desert, and Sean buying a room in Dubai for like £2,000 a night. We'll just post what we like to do, and we do it for motivational purposes. We do it for anyone watching going, could I do it? Because back in the day when me and Sean, let's go back to 2010, it was going terrible. And I promise these 3-4 people that we used to watch online that might post a nice purchase that they had made or post a nice holiday that they had made, the only thing me and Sean thought was, we're not going to quit now, because we've seen these guys join the same journey as us, and they're being able to do this, and we can do it too. So all the stuff that we do is motivational. When it comes to upcoming events for our future, We're about to actually do a talk in London, I reckon in about 2 months' time. Now, London, 90% of our students come from London. And, so this one thing we're going to try and do is be 250 people. There's a chance it might be completely free. And we're actually going to do live trading. Again, something we've never seen no one do yet.
Yeah. So that's another big one that's coming up. And even looking at last year, especially the second half of last year, we advanced quite a lot. We got the new office, and students was flying in, people from all around the globe, and just new opportunities coming up left, right, and centre as
Miami, that's coming this year.
Miami, we're coming to Miami.
We're going to come back to Toronto.
Toronto, probably June or July, and maybe even New York again as well.
That's right. So, yeah, that's the goal. We take it as it comes, like you should take your trading, like you should take life. Take it as it comes, put in all the effort, and see where the universe likes to take you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the AstroFX Q&A. Hope all the questions have been helpful. And again, we should hopefully do maybe Q&A in the future. We might even do it live. And we want to hopefully answer all these kind of questions. Unfortunately, I think maybe the post is up to like 200 something questions. So we couldn't answer everything.
Maybe next
time. I
time.
hope you guys enjoyed it.